Commodities. How you doing, Mike?
So I have a new name now.
Yeah, it was either that or the mayor of Iowa. So I just went with Captain Farnhamville. And I envisioned the whole thing of you dressed up like Captain America, only with a big ear of corn on your chest. What do you think?
And then to have bean sprouts for ears.
Well, either that or other corns or corn cobs, like the Hawkeye hats the corn head hats they used to have. And I was thinking maybe a big John Deere tractor on your cape. Maybe we could even sponsor that. Get John Deere, one of the John Deere dealerships. In fact, there's probably only one anymore. Casey Nielsen isn't Casey about the only one around anymore? I don't know.
Around this area, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe we could get Casey to sponsor your cape. It would be green with yellow and a big tractor in the back, and you on the back of the tractor. You can drive a tractor, right?
Well, now the yellow would have to be the same color as the yellow on the corn.
Yeah, right. It's all color coordinated and stuff. It'd be great.
Right.
And big red boots to kind of set it off. Knee-high red boots. Man, you'd be great in parades.
Yes, I can drive a tractor.
I'm glad to hear that.
I grew up driving a tractor.
Did you? What kind did you drive?
John Deere.
Oh, you do? I thought you were going to give me the Farm All C thing
we had John Deere. We had two old A John Deeres.
What kind of John Deeres did you say?
A.
Oh, A the old John. Those were. Let's see, what years did those come out? The A model.
Well, we had the oldest one we had was a 37, which did not have the electric start on it. And then we had the 46 or 47, I think.
Well, those were pretty old.
Well, I think it was, we left the farm when I was 15, so.
Oh, okay.
So, but nowadays I drive the newer ones. When I go do field work, they have the auto steer, and
boy, those are great, aren't they? Boy, I'll tell you.
With air conditioning, radio,
Air conditioned. Remember the farmers? You could always tell them in church. They took their hat off and they had a sunburn to the middle of their forehead, sunburn and windburn.
Yeah.
And then they had white above that, Looked pretty weird when the guy was bald or something, or most of his hair was gone anyway.
Well, it's the same thing where my do-rag, right, motorcycle. I get back and take the do-rag off and just right in the middle of the forehead.
I got to tell you that the do-rag never worked for you. I think you should get like a black leather cap or something. You just don't look like a do-rag guy,
Well,
you got the Spider-Man glasses down. You got the Spider-Man sunglasses down.
The do-rag or the leather cap only worked when it's cooler outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you got to do the do-rag.
Well, because the leather, we have when we ride leisure riders, we have vests, leather vests, and if it's warm out, that makes it even warmer.
Yeah, it's fairly warm right now. It's 81 degrees, but anyway. No, I congratulate you, and I don't know if congratulate is the right word, but I commend you, I guess, on riding with your group. I know you're in parades, and are you with the same group that attend veterans' funerals if they are bike riders?
Well, if we're asked, that's most of the Patriot Guard riders.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
If we are asked to help,
right.
But Patriot Guard riders are usually the ones that handle the motorcycle part of a veteran's funeral.
Well, Mike, it wouldn't surprise me if you busted into a funeral on your motorcycle and demand to lead the procession, but I'm glad to hear that you have to be invited. All right, everybody follow me. Yeah, I think the timing on that would be awful.
Same here.
I just do. Well, how are the crops looking, Mike, out your way, as we say?
Well, they're not bad around here. I went over to Lake City yesterday afternoon, and of course they had that tornado and some weather over there. There's some corn that got hail on. It's been stripped, but still, I think we're recovering from it.
Really?
Other than that, the around here looks pretty green. Everything. The only thing we still need some more rain, though. We're still in a drought situation in this area. And we still need rain, especially in August will be the telltale month for the soybeans, because that's when they'll do their potting and filling in the ponds with the feed. So
that's what we always need, though, right? Is a warm July and then a lot of rain in August.
Well, warm July, yes, but not hot.
Oh, it's always going to be hot in Iowa. Who made that rule that it couldn't be
Well,
hot? Hell, it's always going to be 90 degrees in the shade.
But the 6 to 10, 8 to 14 day forecasts are for hot and dry for most of the northern, northwestern Midwest.
Okay.
So
I haven't walked out in the field. Perhaps you have, but most of the corn I've seen between here and like Cedar Rapids or here in Dubuque looks pretty good, man. From the road,
Yeah.
it does.
It does. From the road, sure. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's doing out in the field, but
Right.
that's the situation from the road. Actually, it's not that hot today. It seems that hot, but it's only 81 degrees.
Right. But do we have to have moisture? See, we're still behind, very far behind on what we should have for an average.
Geez, we had enough snow, didn't we? Or not through the winter?
Well, apparently not.
Well, you know, the conditions.
I mean, you know, in our area, down southern Iowa, they're doing fine. There's no problems down there. And southeast of us, you know, they look like they're going to have probably maybe record yields. It's hard to say, but here north, you know, you talk Dakotas, Minnesota, parts of northern Nebraska. Of course, you get Canada, they're having chill time there. So, you know, one day outweigh the other. Who knows? Let's wait and see when harvest starts.
They say the problem out in Oregon, Washington, and Northern California, where they're having those terrible droughts and fires and all those things, they haven't had enough snowfall up in the mountains in the last 10 years. But last year it was particularly bad. They didn't have enough snow at all up there. So when the spring thaw came and was supposed to fill up the rivers and self-irrigate, well, it just didn't work out because there was no snow in the mountains to melt and come down into the fields. I saw on CBS News, and of course, farming. Not many people understand that California is a huge agricultural state. They want to, but it is certainly. I mean, I've driven through the Central Valley there in a truck several times, and then you go through onion fields and on and tomato fields and on and on and on. I mean, it's just miles and miles and miles. It's beautiful, really. I mean, it's almost like Iowa and Central California. Flat lands and a lot of crops, you know, onions, all that sort of thing. But they're really having trouble in what they call the Central Valley in California.
Do they raise kumquats out there?
I don't know what a kumquat is. Maybe you do. Do you raise kumquats in your garden? I don't know.
No. This reminds me of the old W.C. Fields movie.
Yeah, kumquat. What do you have any idea? And you know, I got to admit, I don't know what a kumquat is. Is there such a thing?
I don't know either.
You know, you and I are locked in the past. We do Three Stooges movies, knock, 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 and we do W.C. Fields. A friend of mine was just crazy about W.C. Fields. Back in the day, he had posters of W.C. Fields in his college dorm room, and just it was always he did the worst W.C. Fields impersonation ever, but he wouldn't stop doing it. You know. My little chickadee, you know, on and on and on. And he couldn't do it very well, but he just loved to do it. So, yeah, no wonder we drank so much back then, listening to him try to do that. But anyway, do you know what a kumquat is, Mike? Or is that just something that W.C. Fields made up?
No, like I said, I don't know.
By the way, W.C. Fields really did hate children. So maybe he wasn't a very nice man. I don't know, but his movies were kind of funny, especially if you were stoned like I was back in those days.
Well, here are kumquats. A group of small fruit-bearing trees in the flowering plant family Rutaceae or something.
Are they grown in the United States, or does it say?
Doesn't say.
Okay, well, I'm glad there is such a thing as a kumquat.
Yeah.
And we didn't have Google back in the days. I was watching a lot of W.C. Fields movies.
Right.
But anyway, I suppose we should talk farming. MTE Commodities, by the way, is in Farnhamville. How do you get a hold of your bad self in Farnhamville there, Mike?
515-544-3353.
Can people come by your house or not?
People go by my house every day.
Oh, do they? What? But that's to play cribbage or something, right?
Well, they go by my house and you say about stopping.
Well, I'm sorry that you're not a very popular guy.
I mean, the UPS guy goes by, neighbors, they go back and forth.
You're one of those guys that should probably order stuff from you and use UPS as a carrier just so somebody's stuff.
I've done people stop in, sure.
Anyway, I'm glad that they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the price of corn today?
Well, we came up closing just changed a little bit higher. It was a pretty wild day today. We were higher overnight and then higher after the opening, but we sold off real quick because of the news, of course, of the new Delta strain, which may cause closures again. So stock market went down a bunch, and so did crude oil, and corn followed, but it did come back up at the close, and like I said, changed a little bit higher. But beans stayed down. Let's see, September's down 23 cents. November's were down 19 cents, 13.72 and 3/4. They were down lower earlier. They come back some from the reports. Of course, in the livestock markets, we hit pretty hard there for a while, but cattle did come back. They closed near yesterday or Friday's closed, and I was surprised feeder cattle, they closed higher. But hog market goes down, hogs goes down 117 on the futures there.
Right. I talked to a young man from Dayton last week. Well, of course, everybody's young to me. I mean, the guy's probably pushing 30. I don't know. AJ Blair from Dayton, nice young man, raises cattle. And we discussed why the price of beef is so high. Beef, for me anyway, and many others, this is prime grilling season. We always want steaks and that sort of thing. And the price of beef compared to pork is through the roof. So is there any relief for consumers as far as the price of beef is concerned that you see?
Well, what did he give for an answer?
Well, he said that there's, I had heard that for one thing, when the price of fuel goes up, transportation costs double.
Yep, that's right.
The price of beef is going to go up, and the price of commodities in general is going to go up.
Yep.
So thank you, Joe Biden, you big jerk.
Yep. It's not. You're right. It's just transportation costs for a lot of everything. A lot of food items will go up because it costs so much fuel. Fuel costs are high that they have to pass that on, of course, to us consumers.
Yeah, I heard they weren't a social welfare organization.
But crude oil is down a bunch today too. So.
Oh, crude oil is?
Yeah.
How far is it down?
It's down $5.57 a barrel.
And what's the price per barrel?
$66 a barrel. It was $71.40 for a high, so it sold off quite a bit.
Well, that's good. I mean, God, when was it? About 10 years ago, 15 years ago? It was over $100 a barrel. It was killing us at the pumps. I was doing some truck driving then, and God, it was $4 for diesel at the pumps, $4 and change at the pumps. That I don't know what the price of diesel is now, and I don't want to find out, but I know the price of gas has certainly increased.
Yes.
And that's from climate change, Joe.
Yep. And of course, he is complimenting Putin for wanting to run a oil pipeline to Germany.
He's what now?
Complimenting. He's all for Putin building a pipeline from Russia to Germany.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Of course, Putin was going to do it whether Biden liked it or not. I mean,
I know, but Biden was all for it.
Well, the last time
closed them down here. Well, he's all for it. Other places, I don't get it.
Well, Putin, of course, famously hated Barack Obama. Not hated, but he held him in absolute contempt. He thought Barack Obama was a weakling and practically a woman that he could. Putin's a black belt in judo.
Yeah.
And kind of a tough old bird anyway, and Barack just wasn't, he ran like a girl.
Well, what do you think Biden's doing?
What's that?
Nothing.
No, Biden's too old to do anything.
No.
Ask Jill.
No thanks.
All right. Well, I met her once. Very nice lady.
You did?
Yeah, Jill Biden and Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Kamala, I'll tell you, lit me up. She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And very bright. Okay. Very sharp, very sharp.
Okay.
She's just got one problem.
And what's that?
She's a liberal.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I kind of figured that out lately. Yeah.
Are you getting old, Mike? Did you have a stroke or a series of strokes? You seem to be, reaching for thoughts here.
No, I'm just, don't want to get too.
You don't want to get caught up with
about
anything I'm
the
saying?
current administration, we'll put it that way.
A lot of people are afraid to be on air with me for the reason they might get caught up in something I'm saying.
Well,
you know who said that to me on air? Congressman Steve King. Say, I hate to get caught up with you because you get out there somewhere. Steve King told me that. Who lost his seat for being out there. Anyway, what's the price of soybeans these days there, Mike?
well, like I said, the November's closed at 13.72 3/4 today, down 19 cents.
I didn't hear you say that. I'm sorry. I must have had a stroke.
Yeah. Or a mental lapse.
Yeah, I have mental lapses all the time. I got lost going to Amigos the other day.
You haven't changed any.
Yeah, no, I haven't in all these years. I've changed only in that I've gotten worse. Anyway, yeah. So what's the price? What's the orange juice futures today? Do we have orange juice futures or not?
I don't think I had some on my screen.
That's okay. That's okay. Do we do wheat and oats? We used to do oats in Iowa. Why don't we do oats in Iowa anymore?
Well, there is some, but not a lot. But of course, I read. I haven't seen. Of course, we don't raise hardly any around here anymore.
No.
On the farm, we raise oats every year. But I've heard that there's going to be also an oat shortage.
Well,
because of the dry weather and stuff.
Well, a logical reason for nobody growing oats is there's no money in it.
Right.
And I guess I never really did know what we did with oats except feed them to the horses. That's what my grandmother used to say, but that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do with oats anyway? Now, today?
Well, they're used for feed, and when you have oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
Remember that?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I like oatmeal in the winter.
I think they call it oatmeal because it's made out of.
Yeah, oats. Yeah, I got it.
There you go. Okay, now you got it.
And I have Quaker oats in my cupboard right now, and as soon as it gets cold, I'll bust it out. I don't. There's certain things like pizza and oatmeal that I don't eat in the summertime.
Well, you should have oatmeal pizza.
Oh God, that's gross, Mike.
What? You ever tried it?
No, but it's.
Then how do you know?
I haven't tried a spinach pizza either.
Okay.
So, and I'm not going to go for it because spinach makes me yak.
Okay.
You know what yakking is?
Uh huh.
All right. Well, I'm glad you picked up on it.